Kelly, and my latest vacation with my parents ended with them signing the abandonment papers. That was the most painful event of my life. We have been a great, close family. Mom and Dad had their own small business, so they've always got enough money for me and all my desires. As any child, I hardly paid any attention to my mom and dad's reaches. It was much more important to me that my beloved parents always stayed nearby and provided me with love and support. Mom and Dad were quite busy, but they regularly managed to find some time for family vacations. 3 or 4 times a year, we left our hometown and went on vacation to various exotic places. Snowy mountains, tropical islands, faraway cities, all sorts of stuff. Mom taught me swimming and surfing. Dad showed me how to ski and how to ride downhill. So an extra vacation wasn't particularly surprising or anything. My parents must have come to terms with my teachers. Of course, usually we went on vacations during holidays or summer breaks. But that time, we drove away just in the middle of a semester. It would have been impossible without permission from the principal. So I guess they got that one too. Well, the vacation was kind of strange, come to think of it. We've never left our hometown all of a sudden before. Usually Mom and Dad took extra pains to buy tickets beforehand to make sure that everyone would be satisfied. But that time, we worked everything out in just one day. Mom even had to buy a bikini already at the resort. As always, parents chose the most luxurious hotels on the coast. We lived in a separate bungalow overlooking the ocean, all inclusive, and I had all the forms of entertainment to choose from. It was fun, although I still didn't understand why Mom and Dad had to go on vacation in the middle of a semester. They could just wait a month after all. I honestly didn't know what Mom and Dad were busy with there, because I rarely crossed paths with them. I enjoyed the waves, hung out at foam parties, and glad that my parents finally entrusted me to choose myself where to have fun. They used to always accompany me anywhere before, but now I was 12, and my parents' company wasn't actually needed. But I was sure they finally understood that I grew up and won't get into trouble. I rarely went looking for my parents. I was too busy enjoying the unexpected holiday. And in case I really needed them, I always found Mom and Dad on the beach, sunbathing. Well, they were always there when I called them. I never actually saw Mom and Dad on the beach while running by. Anyway, I never thought about that at the moment. But in a week, Mom and Dad simply vanished. I tried calling them, but the line was dead. I asked everyone on the beach about my parents. I questioned the guys and girls at the reception, but none of them had seen a thing. So I decided to continue searching for my parents in the morning. I was sure they went on a field trip and would actually return in a day, yet they never returned at all. In the morning, I called them once again. Now the robot stated that their numbers did not exist. The receptionist told me that the bungalow was paid for until the end of the month, and nothing more. I searched the bungalow in hopes of finding some clues, but found only my dad's credit card, and nothing else. There was no trace of my parents' stuff, and their suitcases were missing. I was sure my parents couldn't just leave me all alone, right? Of course I had no tickets and couldn't even buy some for myself anyway. I spent the following month at the hotel, enjoying the all-inclusive offer, but waiting anxiously for Mom and Dad. I thought they would return at any moment, or at least tell me what to do. But nothing changed, except the amount of cash on Dad's credit card. Eventually, I was evicted from the hotel. I was only 12, left all alone in a foreign state, without any money or documents. Not the best kind of experience to get. I knew that there were teenagers who run away from home themselves, but I never wanted to do so. I was scared. Finally, I got home only by a miracle. I ate whatever I found in trash cans. Once or twice, was lucky enough to catch a ride going in the right direction. Twice, barely escaped the police raids. They must have mistaken me for a thief or a beggar. That was the kind of journey I never actually wanted to experience in my life, but I still did it. In 2 weeks, I was at home, dirty and with lice, but otherwise safe and sound. I was shocked to discover that Mom and Dad were at home. Well, they were really happy to see me, but that's not the point. I asked them what had actually happened. and they just shrugged and said that they had forgotten about me because they needed to return home in a hurry because of some business deal. They simply forgot about me. My own mom and dad forgot me in a foreign state, just left me there without money, documents, or a return ticket. And then they actually had the nerve to claim that they believed in my capacity to return by myself. Of course, after such a revelation, I immediately sued them. I wasn't going to take their lazy sorry as a compensation for all my pains and fears. I still have nightmares where I fight off stray dogs and homeless people. I wanted my parents to be punished, and I actually moved away from them. A judge forced my parents to pay me some monthly allowance, enough for me to rent a studio in a residential area and live a relatively decent life. I don't want to see my parents, and I certainly don't want to talk to them. Mom and Dad decided to save their business, and they simply cast me onto the street as if I was just a stray kitten.
Hello viewers, I'm Deborah and I'm Kelly's mom. Me and my husband's actions may seem really horrible and disgusting, but actually, we wanted to protect our daughter, not harm her. We always considered Kelly too young to tell her about our business. We wanted to give our daughter a good childhood, to shield her from harm. We loved her smile, so we pampered her as much as we could. We are still good parents, but ultimately, we turned out to be a little too good. My husband and I have a business, a small antique shop. Unfortunately, that shop was the source of all of our problems. It turned out that some influential bandits were really interested in the antique business. At first, everything went well. We bought goods at auctions or in pawn shops. We never made deals with the criminals, and we never even took shady deals. We played fair, always, and the people who purchased from us could be sure that the goods weren't stolen or fake. But at some point, these criminals found us all on their own. Just imagine that. We bought some paintings at an auction, and the goons offered us a deal. Well, while they never gave us the "pay the protection tax or your shop's gonna burn" choice, quite the contrary, we were invited to cooperate. But in return, they promised us not to harm our daughter, so we really had no choice. My husband urgently bought tickets to a random tropical paradise. We just wanted to sit that one out, to hide where they would not find us. We started a rumor that we went on vacation to do some skiing, and we bought tickets for a charter to the ocean shores. The tickets never had a trace of our ID. Yeah, that did mean that we couldn't return them if something happened, and there was no insurance at all. But for us, that was okay. One of my husband's friends booked a hotel for us. No one could track us down. I never went into any detail, to be honest, so I was just waiting for that criminal adventure to end. But most of all, I was afraid for our daughter. I didn't give a damn if my husband and I were found, but we were really worried about Kelly's safety. She was our priceless treasure. While our daughter was out having fun, I pretended to be resting, and my husband was working with his acquaintances in the police to strike the criminals down. But even still, we had to return early, and we definitely couldn't take Kelly with us. Some gang members were already imprisoned, but the majority of them still remained at large, and I didn't want to give them a way of revenge. So, we had to make the hard decision that Kelly should stay behind. We paid for her monthly stay at the bungalow, and even left our daughter my husband's card. It was actually dangerous, 'cause someone could track that down. But we didn't want to leave the girl without any money, and so we left, weary but confident that we did everything right. But, as it turns out, we were only a day too late. Yes, we coped with the problem, and the gang was no more, but when we returned, Kelly was already evicted from the hotel, and no one actually knew where she was. My husband alerted the police, and we made the whole city go haywire. We were terribly afraid our daughter could still be under the attack of the gang. Yeah, and the gang members were already behind bars. But if one of them had friends, relatives, colleagues, and acquaintances, if they found her, all that would be in vain. Several times, the police reported that they saw a girl who matched the description, but she always managed to run away from them. And one day, she returned to us all by herself, dirty, sick, but alive. And we were too afraid to tell her the whole truth. We never told her about the bandits. I guess in hindsight, we really should have told her all of that. So, in the end, I told Kelly something incredibly stupid, and my husband confirmed my story. So now, our girl thinks we've just forgotten about her. She doesn't want to see us, and she doesn't want to talk to us. She even threatened us with a restraining order in case we get too close to her. Kelly hates us now, and we're the only ones to blame. Yes, we did some things wrong, but we were so very afraid, and we really wanted to protect her. Now, we just send her triple allowance, pay for her studio in secret, and just try to keep an eye on her.
Write your opinion about this story, who is right, who is wrong, and what to do. You are welcome to have a discussion. Do not forget to share this video with your friends.